A young boy gives away his only meal to a hungry old man. He expects nothing in return, but little does he know, his kindness will come back to him in a way he never imagined. Dylan, a 9-year-old boy, walked home from school, his steps slow and tired. His backpack was worn out, his shoes had holes, and in his hand he held a simple sandwich, the only meal he could afford today. As he passed a small park, he noticed an old man sitting on a bench. The man looked frail, his clothes tattered, and his gaze fixed on the ground. Dylan's stomach rumbled, but when he looked at the man, he saw something heartbreaking, his stomach suddenly trembling from hunger. Dylan knew that feeling all too well. He often went to bed hungry. He swallowed hard. He was starving too, but something inside him told him that this man needed it more. After a brief hesitation, Dylan walked up and held out his sandwich.
"Sir, here, you should eat this."
The old man looked up, his eyes filled with emotion. "Son, this is yours. I can't take it from you." Dylan smiled slightly. "I'll be fine, but you look like you really need it." The man hesitated, then slowly reached out with trembling hands and took the sandwich. "Thank you? Thank you so much," he whispered before taking a bite, his eyes glistening with gratitude. Dylan sat beside him, watching him eat, even though his own stomach still ached.
A few minutes later, someone noticed them.
A middle-aged woman, the mother of one of Dylan's classmates, happened to be walking through the park. She recognized Dylan and knew he wasn't from a well-off family.
Curious, she stopped and asked, "Dylan, have you eaten yet?"
Dylan gave a small smile.
"Not yet, ma'am."
The woman frowned.
"But I just saw you give your sandwich away, so now you have nothing?"
Dylan nodded slightly. "It's okay. I can eat later." The woman was taken aback. This child barely had enough for himself, yet he still thought of others first. She didn't say much, just gave him a small smile and walked away. But deep down, she knew she couldn't just ignore this. The next day at school, Dylan sat alone in the cafeteria, watching other kids eat while he had nothing.
Then suddenly someone approached him. It was the same woman from yesterday. She placed a lunchbox in front of him.
"Here, sweetheart, eat," she said warmly. Dylan's eyes widened.
"But ma'am, I can't accept this."
She smiled. "Listen, yesterday I saw what you did. I saw you give away the only food you had to someone who needed it more. That's something not many kids or even adults would do." She gently placed a hand on his shoulder. "So today, let me do the same for you." Dylan looked at the lunchbox, then back at her. His eyes started to well up.
No one had ever done something like this for him before.
With a soft voice, he whispered, "Thank you, ma'am," before slowly opening the lunchbox and taking a bite, grateful beyond words. Dylan never expected anything in return for his kindness. He just did what felt right.
But that day, he learned something important. Kindness always finds its way back.
Maybe not immediately, maybe not from the same person, but somewhere, somehow, someone will remember and pass it on. And sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference. One small act of kindness can change someone's life. If you believe kindness is contagious, share this story and comment. Kindness always comes back. Let's spread more goodness in the world.